Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have a very short and sweet and to the point and pack a punch and knock your socks off and change your life kind of podcast for you today. But before I get to it, I want to say that we have a Quit Sugar Challenge coming up, Quit Sugar Challenge Live, with lots of new goodies and support, and it's going to be awesome. But not if you're not there. So go to quitsugarchallenge.com and check it out. Join us. It's $17. What a crazy thing is that? It includes 5 Quit Sugar Challenge classes and 5 morning mindset calls and a workbook and so much support and recordings, the whole thing. So don't miss it. You can't miss it. We made it absolutely miss-proof. You can't miss it unless you don't register, of course. So go to quitsugarchallenge.com and join us there. Also, have you taken the new quiz? It's on our website. This is to determine if you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between. Don't miss that. And of course, we're super excited about this show that is showing up all kinds of places, getting all kinds of wonderful reviews. We're so appreciative of you, our loyal listeners. And for those of you in the Secret Sauce group who have just joined us, welcome there. And we're going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff in the Secret Sauce group coming up soon. So if you're not part of that group, go to Facebook and type in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating and join us there. So, okay, on with the show. So I have to say, this is a really incredibly simple, actually, message. Your feelings are neither good nor bad. Your feelings are neither good nor bad. And what I find with so many of my clients is that they judge themselves for their feelings all the time, right? Judge themselves for their feelings. So I really want to encourage you to stop that. Stop judging your feelings. I think so much of our problem comes from the fact that we feel feelings that we think we shouldn't feel, and then we don't feel feelings we think we should feel. And therein lies the rub, right? We're just judging ourselves all over the place, not letting ourselves just be us. Okay, and that's what I want to encourage you to do is however you feel is how you feel. Stop beating yourself up for feeling angry at somebody you're supposed to love. Stop beating yourself up for having, conflicted feelings around people that you're supposed to be all excited about. If you've been a people pleaser, you're going to resent those people. All right, even though you fundamentally love them, if you've been burying your voice, if you've been saying everything's okay when it's not, you're going to feel resentful. But your feelings come and they go, okay? Especially if you address them head on. That's the Heal Your Hunger way. We feel, deal, and heal, all right? You got to face it. Those resentments that are buried, they got to come out, but not in an inappropriate, harmful way. Write about it, talk about it, pray about it. That's what you need to do, all right? Get it out on paper. That's the safest thing you can do with those resentful feelings. But my point is that however it is you feel, you got to stop acting like it's bad and then pushing it down. If you have feelings, own it. Own it. And the sooner you own it and have it move through you instead of burying it, the sooner you don't feel that way. Feelings are very fluid. Okay? And so that means if you're willing to feel them, deal with them, they will heal. And they will pass right through you, and then you'll feel fine. But if you're like, oh no, I shouldn't feel that way. Oh no, I'm going to pretend I don't. Oh no, I'm going to act like everything's fine. You know what FINE stands for? Effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. That's right. So next time you tell somebody you're fine, that's what you're saying. So I want you to just take a deep breath and give yourself the honor of having your feelings, whatever they are, and stop suppressing them. I had a friend recently who came and stayed with me, and I just love her to pieces. And she long story, I'm not going to go into, but anyway, she was using my car, which she needed to take a trip up the coast for a job, and I said, go ahead and use my car. I went out of town, and then turns out she'd also used my car to go on a different trip, but she hadn't asked me about that trip. And later we were talking, and she mentioned she'd gone somewhere, and I said, wait, you went there in my car? And she said, yeah. And I said, but you didn't ask me. I would have appreciated it if you'd asked me. Why did I say that? Because I felt it. I felt in the moment, hey, she should have asked me about that trip. She didn't ask me about that trip. And so I just spoke up about it. And I didn't judge myself. I had a feeling. Of, that's not okay. Hey, you didn't ask me about that trip. Guess what? I probably would have said yes. But since she didn't ask me, it felt funny in my gut. I felt a little bit of, that's not right. And so I spoke up. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even stop to judge myself and talk myself out of it. Praise God. That's what I would have done in the past. But I didn't. I just said, hey, you didn't ask me. And she's like, you're right. And she apologized. And I said, it's okay. I love you. I probably would have said yes, but I would appreciate it if you would have asked me. And that was it. It was done. It was over. I'm not resentful. Okay, I'm not resentful. She realized that she should have, and after I brought it up, and she was apologetic, and then I didn't feel resentful. Had I said nothing and buried it, had I judged myself as petty or, splitting hairs or whatever, and then I said nothing, I would have built up a resentment, and then there would have been a breakdown in our relationship. And that's no bueno. Feel, deal, and heal. I felt it in my gut. That's not right. I spoke up. We cleared it. She apologized. And I'm free. I'm free. So I don't have to bury it. I don't have to feel resentful. I don't have to think I'm bad for having those feelings and for speaking up about them. That's freedom, friends. That is freedom. That's what I want for you. But I didn't used to be that way. I used to judge that still small voice that said that something's not right. I used to judge and say, oh, I'm being silly. I'm stupid. What's the big deal? You know the drill, right? We're so good at talking ourselves out of our feelings, but we feel how we feel. And the sooner you honor yourself, the sooner you honor how you feel, and you let that be okay in the moment, the sooner you can get over that feeling. But too often we get afraid that we've had such a feeling, we judge ourselves, and then we keep quiet and bury it as if it's going to go away. Guess what, friends? Feelings buried never die. Feelings buried never die. So let your feelings be okay, and know that the sooner you acknowledge them and express them in an appropriate way, the sooner you can get over them. That's what I want to impress upon you. And they're not good or bad. I wasn't petty for having that feeling. I felt how I felt. It didn't feel right to me. So I spoke up, and you feel however you feel. Do we have childish feelings? Yes. I call them baby feelings. Petty baby feelings. But pretending you don't have those feelings only perpetuates them. So deal with them. Make them okay by writing about them, talking about them, praying about them, speaking up when you feel a certain way, and stop judging yourself for it. Feelings are neither good or bad. And if you want them to change, if you want to stop being petty, if you want to stop having baby feelings, give them space to be okay. Give them a moment. Honor them. Okay? So stop pretending you don't have feelings you have. And on top of that, stop trying to create feelings you don't have. All right? So stop denying the feelings you have, and stop faking feelings you think you're supposed to have. That's another pastime of emotional eaters, right? I used to go to a funeral and feel kind of nothing, probably because I was overeating and burying everything with food, but besides the point, I would just not feel anything. And so I'd try to make myself cry, or I'd look around and I'd act sad. Of course, thinking anybody cared. But the fact is, I was judging myself that I didn't feel sadder, or I didn't feel. I used to not be able to cry for years because I was overeating and had stuffed so many feelings. I was out of touch with my feelings. And then I felt embarrassed when other people were crying or being sad and I wasn't. So I pretended. That is equally no bueno. Stop pretending to have feelings you don't have. That makes you feel like a phony. Makes you feel like a phony and a fraud. And then you end up eating over that, right? Because you feel inauthentic. I've done it. I did it for years. So stop burying feelings you do have and stop manufacturing or pretending you have feelings you don't have. This is how we begin to live authentically. Just honor wherever you are. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. You just are. Let yourself be. Okay, so this is my short and sweet message. I think it's powerful. I want you to listen to this again, just go back over it. You need this message. You need this. If you're an emotional eater who struggles with food and weight, you need this message. I get you. I've been you. I've pretended to have feelings I didn't have, and then I pretended to not have feelings I did have, and that created conflict. I was out of alignment with who I really was, and I ate over it. That is emotional eating. That is a major cause of emotional eating, and no diet is going to address that. So this is where we address the real issues that drive us to eat. Can you feel it? Yeah, you deserve to be you. Give yourself the gift of authenticity. Be however you are. Accept who you are. Accept where you are at the moment. And you'll sooner get to a place that you feel like you should be. But you won't if you pretend you're not. Okay? But you don't want to shit on yourself regardless. Just be you. God wants you to be you, the very special, beautiful, unique you. Go with that, and you'll feel better. You'll feel real, right? You won't feel like a fraud. You'll just be you, beautiful you. All right, that's my message, short and sweet. I love you so much. You are beautiful. You are perfect, just how you are. Let yourself be. Isn't it time? Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you on the next show.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.